Welcome to City TV Sports presentation of the high school football game of the week. And it is always an exciting time here with Rufus Washington and Sebastian Spencer. I'm Lou Stowers and the four-time Star Award-winning crew led by Tom Strickfaden. It's the Mayor's Cup. And Rufus, you've been to many of these, and it doesn't get any better than tonight when one of these teams is going to break a goose egg.
Absolutely. As you mentioned, they both come in 0-4, but somebody's going home tonight. Hopefully 1-4. But it's an interesting thing, Lou. In the last 5 years, the road team has won this game. No team has ever won at home over the years. They're 3-2, Leuzinger's up, but Hawthorne's here at Leuzinger, so they're expecting some good things for them.
All right, Sebastian Spencer is going to be watching Hawthorne and Leuzinger tonight. What can we say about Coach Pacinger's Cougars?
Oh, well, Coach Pacinger, very, very good guy, and he is very much so trying to get these Cougars into a winning mentality. Mayor's Cup is not something they're too familiar with. Leuzinger has held this thing for a while over the last few years, between it going back and forth the last few years. But with that being said, the same thing with Coach Porter on the other side. He's kind of new to this as well, so he's looking to make a run here and become quite often familiar with this Mayor's Cup.
And it's Marte Mapu going to be making the start at quarterback for the Cougars, and Damian Porter not too familiar with the Mayor's Cup either, as Sebastian said.
Exactly. But he knows that this is an important game because, again, this is a local game across, not quite across town, but across the city line. And as you said, man, we've been doing this for, 20-plus years, always exciting. The crowd will be into it because it is for bragging rights right here in the local area. And there's not a kid on either team. Although the coaches are trying to downplay it, I can assure you kids on both teams know how important this is, and they're playing for bragging rights for one more year.
That's right, and sophomore quarterback or junior quarterback Malik Jackson's going to be leading the Olympians.
Well, he's going to be leading the Olympians tonight. He's grown into the position. It was a bit unsettled at the start of the season, but things have settled down for both quarterbacks, actually, and so that's going to make it very interesting. Both teams have actually played a pretty competitive pre-league season. This is the last pre-league game as they get ready to go into their respective league play.
All right, the teams are about ready to come on the field. We're about ready to tee it up, and you are going to sit right where you are and watch this game. The Mayor's Cup between the Cougars and the Olympians coming up next. Back here at Lou House, along with Rufus Washington, Sebastian Spencer on the field, I'm Lou Stowers. And just about ready to get the kickoff going here on the Mayor's Cup this year. And both teams sporting new uniforms, new attitudes, and just about ready to get underway as Adrian Acosta will kick it off to the Cougars in their gold helmets with the red uniforms and black numbers. The Olympians in their home whites with the blue and red trim. Who are our officials tonight?
Officials tonight are the referee. The white hat is Paul Just. Head linesman, who's over on the far side with the chain crew, is Samuel Sutherland. The umpire is Michael Philpott. The line judge is Steve Zykas. He'll be the official over on this sideline. And the back judge is Paul Cummings.
Jalen Morgan will be the far kickoff returner for the Cougars. Number 23 appears to be the near side, but he's not on my roster. So maybe if we can get word down to Sebastian Spencer to find out who Mr. 23 is, it would be greatly appreciated as Adrian Acosta kicks it down towards Morgan, and he lets it go into the end zone. Automatic touchback. So no time off the clock. 1st and 10 for the Hawthorne Cougars from their own 20-yard line, and the Mayor's Cup is underway as Leuzinger took it resoundingly 40-7 last year.
They certainly did, and that was over at Hawthorne. as you may have heard me mention in the pregame, this last 5 years, this series has alternated back and forth with the road team prevailing each year. So that's a good omen if you're a Hawthorne fan, not so good if you're a Leuzinger fan, but as they say, that's why they play the game.
That's right. As we said in the pregame, Marte Mapu is the quarterback, number 1 quarterback now for the Cougars. Looks like back with him is John Ray in a spread offense. To the near side is Carlos Jacobo. Out for the regular season for the rest of the year is Benjamin Delgado, who is one of the leaders and the captains on this club. And handoff up the middle, and tackle made by Adrian Galera after a short gain of about 3 yards. So it'll be 2nd down and 7.
And we mentioned Galera's name on many an occasion. He's the heart and soul of the team. I had a chance to have a quick chat with him before he headed to the locker room for final pregame preps. And he said he was feeling good and looking good and just ready to have a great game tonight.
2 men back with Mapu now. The handoff again. Straight up the middle and plugging things up. A linebacker and a lineman for Leuzinger, as that was John Ray. And he was tackled by Alberto Perez. So no gain. So it'll be 3rd and 6 for the Cougars. Is the defensive line. There you see him there in the middle. Edgar Majerus, the linebacker.
Along with Salisi Fukava.
Back to pass as Mapu has a man open. It's caught at the 31-yard line. And battling for extra yardage, Hawthorne Cougar receiver. It's caught by Jacobo for a 1st down. And he gets about 12 yards, Rufus.
And that was good placement by Marte Mapu, who knew exactly how much they needed for the 1st down. And he threw it to the 1st down mark, and his receiver, man, just kept working, and picked up a few extra yards, picked up about 5 extra yards just from hard work, 2nd effort.
Antonio Hunt made the tackle. Yep, a 60-yard gain after the catch. So 3 receivers to the right side, and the pass to the slot man is caught by Morgan and maybe lost a yard on that, Rufus.
That play looked like it had more potential than that initially, and you're right, he did lose a yard on the play. Never quite turned it up, kept running east and west instead of north and south.
Well, good defense by the Olympians as they spread out and stayed in their lanes and didn't allow Morgan any more room. So 2nd down and 11 for the Cougars. 2 receivers to either side of Mapu. Back to pass, throws to the near side, is caught and then dropped. And that was intended for Morgan on this side, but a good defensive play by Antonio Hunt.
Antonio Hunt, one of the Hunt brothers, the other being number 9, Andre.
I'm sure we'll be hearing from Andre soon enough, as he is the strong safety in the backfield. Back to pass is Mapu on 3rd and 11, steps up, throws, caught near the 50-yard line, and that should be good enough for a 1st down if there's no flag.
None seen, and that pass complete as safety Sean Lofton, and that picks up, that's their 2nd 1st down of the drive. This drive, of course, started at the 20-yard line, and right now Hawthorne's looking pretty good, Lou, on their opening drive.
That's right, a gain of 14 yards and a 1st down. In the pistol formation, Mapu hands the ball off, and a good defensive play by the Olympians. Looked like Sean Lawless. And that's a loss on the play of 5 yards.
Olympian defense did a pretty good job of sniffing that one out. They weren't fooled at all. And as you said, for Hawthorne, they take a 5-yard loss on the play.
So 8:25 left to go, clock counting, first quarter.
Mayfield a little off target on that play, went out in the right flat, overthrew his intended receiver, only had one receiver in the area, and now once again they face a 3rd and long. The last time it was 3rd and 9, they converted. This time it's a little more difficult at 3rd and 14, 3rd and 15, let's call it. Let's see what they're able to do, what Maypew has up his sleeve this time, along with head coach Don Paysinger.
2 receivers on either side of the field for Maypew. Back to pass, stays in the pocket, is caught from behind, almost picked off by Galera. And that was number 44 on that for the Olympians, not on our roster, and a good play.
And not only would that have been, as you see the replay, an interception by Adrian Galera, that would have been a pick 6. That's when it hurts when you're only 5'8". If you'd been 5'9", that's 6 points.
Andre Hunt back to receive the punt. And lets it bounce. Still a live ball. And finally downed. So the ball was punted by Hunter Marquez. And all the way down to the 16-yard line, we'll call it. So it'll be 1st and 10, 7:58 left to go in the first quarter. And there you see Damian Porter in his 2nd year. Really didn't know what he had when he had the Mayor's Cup in his hand last year.
Right. Thinks he has a better appreciation of it now, though.
Well, he was telling us something interesting, Rufus, is that maybe they partied a little bit too much afterwards, and then they had not a literal hangover, but a Mayor's Cup hangover.
Now on that return, on that special teams play, actually the return man should have made the catch. When you're out at the 20, 25-yard line, that ball's coming at you. You got to make that catch instead of letting it bounce and losing yardage on the play.
Adrian Galera gets the handoff and powers his way across the 20-yard line to about the 22.
We saw a flag come in, and the referee, Paul Just, indicates that there's holding against the Olympians.
This is going to be an interesting battle against 2 big lines. There you see, see a shove in the face. Okay, that might be a little bit of a hold right there by Jose Martinez. So from the spot of the foul, it goes all the way back to the 10-yard line.
Which is going to make it a 1st and 20. Presumably.
About that. They have to get to the 36-yard line, so almost. So throw it out in the flat, and it's caught, and look out. The Olympians are on the run all the way to the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown Leuzinger to Adrian Galera.
Is that Galera or is that Hunt?
That's Hunt. Antonio Haygood, or is that
That's Andre Hunt? That's Andre Hunt.
Okay. The shirt's too tight there. So.
And that's a 90-yard touchdown play to Andre Hunt.
Now is that? Yep, Andre Hunt. So 90 yards on the play for the touchdown. There you see the replay, Rufus, and just runs past everybody. That kid's something else. Kick is up and makes it through the left side. Adrian Acosta tacks on the extra point. With 7:35 left to go in the first quarter. It's 7-0 Leuzinger. And just as you said, the Olympians were pinned back farther than they should be. Boom.
Boom. One play, 90 yards, you lead 7-0.
So maybe they're going to change the trend this year. As now Damian Porter is talking with our referee tonight. Don't know what that was about. So Jackson, 90 yards to Andre Hunt.
Now let's face it, that was about 15 yards to Andre Hunt and 75 yards of running by Andre Hunt. But it will go down in the books as a 90-yard pass and a good start for the Leuzinger Olympians, who've shown throughout the year, when you go back and you look at their per-game average, where they're averaging 23 points a game, they have no problem putting points on the board. Their problem has been on the defensive side, and that's one of the things we're going to be looking for a little more closely as this game goes along, just like we talked about Coach Porter, how to get Milwaukee, his best defender, a little more involved in the game.
Right. So Jackson 90 yards to Hunt. That was a 28-second drive that took 2 plays. So the ball is fumbled around by, I believe that should be Morgan over on that side. Tries to come to the near side, gets to the 15-yard line before he's rolled down by Jeremiah Smith.
And that was a good open field tackle by Jeremiah Smith, because if he had been able to turn the corner, he had a lot of room to run.
So from their own 15-yard line, Hawthorne will take over. And again, Andre Hunt puts his name to the forefront tonight. Definitely one of the best players on this squad. Out of the shotgun, the ball is handed off, and Leuzinger is really fired up now on defense.
And what we want to key on, and we're going to try to find him and point him out to you, is number 6, Samizi Lewaki, who's their D1. And before I go on, there you see in your camera shot, that's what they're playing for right there. That's the Mayor's Cup.
So Janal Ray has been the running back, the 6-foot senior so far for Coach Pasinger and the Cougars. So a loss of 1, it's 2nd down and 11. Back to pass is Mapu, throws it in the flat, it's complete up to about the 20-yard line. Andre Hunt there again after the completion was made to Joseph Areola. That's his 2nd catch of the night. And about a 7-yard gain. It's going to be 3rd down and 4.
As you see on the replay, Mapu looks right, throws right, hits his receiver, gives him a short situation to pick up the 1st down.
Coming down to 6 minutes in the 1st quarter. Mapu back to pass, throws to the near side, is caught at the 30-yard line, and that was by Carlos Jacobo, tackled by Antonio Hunt. So that's a 1st down for the Cougars at their own 31-yard line. A 16-yard gain.
You're starting to get the feeling that Jacobo is his favorite receiver. He's certainly, he has 2 receptions already, and he's thrown in his direction a couple of times. A couple more times, I should say.
Three receivers to the right, and the ball is handed off up the middle, trying to get that running game going, but the Olympians aren't having any of it. After Janal Ray trying to get through there, just couldn't get anything going, Rufus, and the Olympian field guys are out there.
And we saw John El Ray a couple of weeks ago, and he had a pretty big game. That game, a very good offensive output. So he's definitely one of the guys that they want to get going. I'm continuing to look for Sumisi Lewaki, number 6, the Leuzinger defensive end and lineman, and they just haven't spotted him yet.
He's actually playing in the left tackle position right now. Just saw him. So again, well, Mapu now trying to get going on the scramble, but Galera says, you're not going anywhere. So they are really active on the run defense tonight, Rufus. So let's see what the flag is, down to the 27-yard line.
The referee, Paul Just, will give us the indication in a moment. Personal foul against the defense. Boy, that's going to be automatic first down for Hawthorne.
Well, that's the second big penalty for the Olympians. First one was a hold, but this one's a personal foul.
That's a 15-yard mark-off.
So it goes all the way up to the 43-yard line, we'll call it. Two penalties, 25 yards for the Olympians, none for the Cougars. Mapu has all the time in the world, throws it down the near sideline and almost picked off by Hunt as the receiver for the Cougars, and that was Jacobo had to play defensive back.
Absolutely. Ball hung up in the air just a little bit too long. The Olympian defender had a better opportunity to make the reception than did the intended receiver.
And you see it right there.
And you see that Jacobo definitely had to go play defense against Antonio Hunt.
So it's second down and 10 from the 43. But what about that protection that the offensive line of Hawthorne gave Martin Mapu?
Well, they certainly gave him all the time that he needed to find his receiver. Got a Wilson's going to bring this play back.
And some movement as Jonell Ray made his best run of the night, but that's going to get called back. So somebody moved on the line. So that'll take it back to the 36-yard line. So it'll be second and 15.
And you were talking about how both teams have new uniforms. I got to tell you, the Lawndale cheer squad sporting new uniforms themselves. They are Natalie clad.
All right, there's Robert pulling miles. Lawndale's mayor, and he'll go a mile for you. Is that his slogan? He's pulling for you. He'll pull it a mile for you. Or I'm sure I'll get letters on that.
Right.
Mapu out of the pistol formation. Back to pass, and is it caught? No. As it was intended for Troy Oliver.
And Troy just couldn't hold on to it because I thought he had it as he was going to the ground. But the line judge right on top of it and saw that it was incomplete.
So it'll be 3rd and 15. And Hawthorne's been pretty successful on third downs.
Well, it was nearly a catch, but ruled otherwise. You're right, and that's what we thought. But apparently, just like in baseball, it looks like he may have trapped it.
That's right. There. How many calls were reversed over the weekend that announcers and officials in the booth thought it was one way? Well, an all-out blitz by the Olympians, and it's going to be 4th and long for the Cougars.
So the Olympian defense, after giving up a first down by way of penalty, holds steady and actually pushes the Hawthorne offense back 5 yards from their furthest advancement and forces them into a punt.
Andre Hunt back at his own 32-yard line, and look out, the snap goes over the kicker's head, and he's got to throw it, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 36-yard line, 37-yard line for the Olympians after the bad snap, and we've seen that before.
Well, actually, and you know what, and I got to tell you, I don't know, this will be interesting where they spotted at, because I'm not sure I've ever seen that. Look, let's see what the outcome is, because
well, shouldn't it be from where it was snapped? Or no?
Well, that's one way of looking at it, and apparently that's the way they're going to spot it. I must admit that I don't know the rule, but I would think you would have thought that actually it would have been from where it chose to throw the ball. I mean, actually, you're rewarding them for a mistake that they made.
Right. Would that be considered a fumble, though, or a bad snap? Because that would be from where the ball hit the ground.
And you're right. So, in other words, what he did was, even though he wasn't the quarterback, he basically turned it into a pass play.
Right.
By throwing the ball, which made it an incompletion. And therefore, you're right. They went back to the line of scrimmage.
Galera gained 7 yards on his first carry. And a good tackle made by Troy Oliver. So from the 37 down to the 30, where it's 2nd down. Malik hands it off to Galera again. And
wow, that's a face mask. Where's the flag?
Brought down by Lisala Tai, their 6'7" senior. So they're going to call it a loss of 2 instead of a face mask. So back to the 35. So actually, no, that's a loss of 5.
Let's see if we can see it on this play. There you are, right there.
Yep, you're right. But instead, it's a loss of 5. Out of the shotgun as Jackson throws it across the middle. It's caught at the 20-yard line and into the end zone. Touchdown. There's Hunt again. That's Andre Hunt with his 2nd touchdown of the night. Makes it 13-0 Olympians on the good old slant pattern. And that's a TD. Malik Jackson, 35 yards, 2 hunts. And once he catches the ball, he's already in 3rd gear, Rufus.
He certainly is. And boy, he got one key block and he was gone the rest of the way.
Acosta, perfect, down the middle. So with 2:48 left to go in the first quarter, it's 14-0 in favor of Leuzinger in the Mayor's Cup, looking to retain it. But a short field provided by the Hawthorne special teams at the 2:48 mark.
As you can see there on the clock, and of course, if you're one of the Olympian faithful, you're feeling pretty good right now. And if you're a Cougar faithful, you're getting just a wee bit antsy because, boy, it's only the first quarter, and they've already put 14 points up on the board.
3 plays, 35 yards in 1:30. So lightning is striking here at Lou House.
And Jackson already has at least 125 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, and Hunt has 2 touchdowns.
That's right. Now, are those the only 2 passes he's thrown? I think it is.
Maybe.
I think it is. I mean, they've only run 5 plays.
Of course, it's a windy night. Ball fell off the tee due to the wind.
And Acosta has the kick bounce at the 15-yard line. A good kick taken by Morgan over on the far side, still running. and is ridden out of bounds at somewhere around the 40-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougars as they get good field position. It's about a 25-yard return, and they're going to mark it at the 39. With 2:40 left to go. So we're going to find out where Samizi Lewaki is going to be patrolling, and it appears he's going to be on the left side again. Now he's going to be on the end this time, Rufus, on the left end.
On the left end, and as Coach Porter told us, a little bit of freedom to move around. Wow, this time they run at his side. And he's there in the scrum. A couple of his other teammates made the tackle.
And it results in a 2-yard loss. So Janal Ray is negative in yardage. He has 6 carries and minus 4 yards. Here's Janal again. And he is just stopped cold by Ahmad Taylor and friends.
And Ahmad Taylor was the key guy on that play, but boy, I got to tell you, Galera is flying all over the field. I mean, he's near the action no matter where it is. He's playing some D-back, but once he sees it's a running play, he's running up to the line, running in pursuit of the play.
Out of the shotgun, Mapu had to hurry his throw as that play was slow to develop, Rufus, and the intended receiver was Jacobo.
So that's going to bring up a 4th down for the Cougars and another punting situation. The last one was an adventure, and it also cost them 7 points.
Hunt's back to receive the kick at about his own 30-yard line and lets it land again. It takes an Olympian bounce. And it's down by an Olympian at the 38-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Leuzinger with 1 minute, 1 second left to go in the first quarter. There you see coming off Samizi Lewaki.
And Lewaki will play a little bit of offense now and again for the Olympians. Actually, he's going back out on the field, number 6, normally at the tight end position. But let's see, right now it looks like, okay, so now they spread him out. Look like that's where they're going to put him at.
Yep. Out of the eye. Handoff straight up the middle by Galera, bounces off a linebacker and gets barely to the 40-yard line, maybe the 41. Good pursuit by Christian Cooley. So a gain of 2 on the play. So it'll be 2nd down and 8. Ooh, nice tackle. Handoff again, trying to develop that running play. Somebody got an arm in the way, and a good play by the Hawthorne defense.
And with 18 seconds left in the quarter, well, now we got to stop at your play. Not sure why. The indication is 3rd down.
A holding call against Hawthorne, that's why.
Wow, okay. Well, that's going to give the Olympians a first down.
Looks like it's going to be a personal foul charge to the Cougars. 15 yards and an automatic Olympian first down.
Oh, I didn't see. I thought I saw a hold, not a personal foul, but there it is, all the way into Cougar territory. So into Hawthorne territory at the 44-yard line. 1st and 10. Now the clock rolls, 18 seconds and counting. 4 receivers either side for Jackson. The ball is handed off. Ball is handed off this time to Bowen, and Bowen looks like he's got another first down over on the other side, Rufus, down to about the 31 with 1 second left. So a 13-yard run for Lauren Bowen.
And the Olympians right now are hitting on all cylinders. The running game, the passing game, the defensive game, the cheer squad game.
That's right. And, you know, they're sporting they're rocking the pink pom-poms. At the end of the first
Hey, thanks
quarter.
a lot, guys. I'm here with a familiar face here at the Lou House Field. Coach Deion Tolliver, former Olympian. How's it feel to be back here?
It feels great, man. This is bringing me back from a long time ago, 5 years ago. I feel real good out here. I just want to be out there where Coach Porter's at, but I know he's going to do a good job here.
Well, I'm sure everybody's here wondering what brings you back on this Friday night.
I'm recruiting. I coach at West LA City College now, defensive coordinator, so I'm just up here trying to see the new talent, and I know Coach Porter's out here with some great talent, so I want to check it out.
Well, I think I speak for everybody when I say it's good to see you back.
Well, good to have me. I don't even know what to say, man. I'm just shocked to be here on camera, and thank you for saying hi to me. I miss Leuzinger, and I remember all my old days, all my good players I had here, Mark Rogers, Monroe Ross, Bradenard, all the good players I had, man. And I see that Coach Porter's going to get this going, and I'm sure there's going to be some more good legends up here ready to go. You know what I mean?
Definitely finishing something that you started.
Yeah,
all right.
Thank you.
There you go, guys. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much. A great guy, great memories.
Great memories. And actually, over the last 15 years, the winningest coach, he had a 4-year run, 24-18 over those 4 years. And I didn't know he was going to be here, and I just happened to look at the stats today. But yeah, Deion Tolliver had some very good Olympian football teams.
There goes Lauren Bowen, is pumping up his stats, gets inside the 20, but there's a flag on the play at the 20-yard line. But a big run that would be a first down, but we're going to take a look. Holding against Leuzinger.
So that's going to bring it back. That'll be a spot of the foul enforcement.
So that's to bring it back to about the 30-yard line.
Right.
Yeah, Deion Tolliver really started something, and with the tandem of the coaches Tolliver and Reggie Morris, really had Lou House rocking.
Had them rocking, and again, that was in that whole era when the administration, the school district administration decided to go into a different direction, and quite frankly, for a long time, both sports suffered. Basketball recovered a little bit quicker than did football. The football team really struggled for a few years, and now with Coach Porter here, and you can see the difference he's making. It's not necessarily showing up yet in the wins column because that takes a little while, and this is only his second year. But I think as Coach Deion Tolliver said, he recognizes that this program is turning around.
You can feel it in the air. There's a different aura about the team, a different attitude about the team, and you can see it by people showing up again, and everybody's excited. And so now the referee is explaining something to Sean Lawless. As we still haven't, it's going to be 1st and 10, pretty much right where they started from after the holding call. So Bowen's run as he gets the ball again, trying to pick his way through. Look at him go, bowling his way to about the 29-yard line. You know, his mom's in the crowd tonight. Saw her again, the lovely Mrs. Bowen. And she said, I feel a wind. Not going to argue with her.
No, because it is a windy night.
Yeah. So it's down to the 22-yard line, so an 8-yard gain for Lauren Bowen. So it'll be 2nd down and 2, the short 2. Out of the eye. Actually out of the shotgun. Gives it to Bowen, and he busts through into the end zone. Touchdown, Leuzinger.
Actually, I'm sure Mrs. Smith wouldn't want you to shortchange her son. That was Lionel Little Train Smith.
You're right. You're right. My bad.
Now we got a late flag. I'm sure excessive celebration on the play. Touchdown will stand. And that was, what'd you record that as? A 21
22.
Year? 22.
At 10:58. So 2:03 the time of the drive. And a 62-yard drive.
Yep. That's the indication by the referee.
Okay, so the penalty was on the Cougars.
Actually, it was on the Olympians, and so they'll be kicking off instead of at the 40. They'll be backed up 15 yards. Low snap, but they get it away, and it is good.
It's Adrian Acosta with his 3rd extra point. Makes it 21-0. There you see Little Train running through some big holes.
And you see him sporting the pink on his shoes.
Yep.
We'll take the opportunity to tell you that October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So you will see pink very prevalent. I'm sure you've already, if you saw the pregame and watch, you saw that I had on a pink hat. And every time you see us this month, we'll be sporting pink one way or the other.
Well, you look at the Leuzinger cheerleaders, and they're sporting the pink pom-poms.
There you go.
Now, if you pan down a little bit on that shot, you'll see Mary Martinez. She's the biggest fan that Leuzinger has. She's in the wheelchair, and she's been cheering them on since 2000.
And trust me, she's at every game. I stop by and I don't take the field until I stop by and say hi to her.
That's right. Got to get a high five and a hug from Mary Martinez. So it must have been against Hawthorne, Rufus, because it's going to be kicked off from the 45 of the Cougars.
Well, you're right, because that doesn't help Hawthorne if the penalty had been against Leuzinger for the kick to take place there.
So Adrian Acosta will try not to kick it into the street. And doesn't.
Nope, but it is a touchback, so
it'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Maybe should have squibbed it or something. Who am I to say? That's why I'm up here.
Exactly. And if you're Coach Pasinger right now, boy, you still got a lot of football time left. You got 3 periods left.
Sure.
But what you want to do, you got to hit pay dirt pretty soon. And at the same time, they haven't shown an ability to hold Leuzinger offensively at all thus far here in the first, after 1 quarter and a little bit of change.
Marte Mapu out of the shotgun, throwing to the near side, is complete at the 25. Tackled immediately by Hunt. Completed to Justice Powers.
About a 5-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 5 for the Cougars.
Now from this vantage point, we have an opportunity to get a better look at where number 6, Samizi Lewaki, lines up. And a rare situation, he's lining up in the middle, down lineman, but
Look
not
out
out on the edge.
Now we got a flag thrown as Mapu was hit the deck. Also, the pass was complete to Jalen Morgan, tackled by Adrian Galera. But let's see what the flag is all about.
Personal foul.
Leuzinger.
Yes, Leuzinger.
Okay, so it happened somewhere in the pattern or after the catch. That's the second 15-yarder against Leuzinger. 4th penalty overall.
And it used to be, that's one of the changes. You know, if you're a fan of football, you used to get an indication of what that personal foul was. Now they're all just identified as a personal foul. You can tell whether it was clipping, whether it was this or the other. And now you don't get that secondary indication.
So 10-15 left to go in the half, and Hawthorne gets a gift from their hosts. See if they can cash it in. Mapu hands the ball off to John L. Ray. Gets out of one tackle, but can't get out of the second.
He's got to hit the hole a little bit quicker than that.
Jeremiah Smith made the tackle, but your buddy, Lewaki, was there to head him off at the pass.
Well, he's definitely trying to find the hole, and of course that's what any good back does. But you see Lewaki right there just caused him to alter his whole scheme for a moment. Then he turns around and heads back toward Lewaki. Lewaki actually missed him twice.
Then runs into, well, got that tsunami, and he went under the wave.
Right.
2 yards on the loss. So it's 2nd down and 12. Back is Mapu, swing pass out to Ray. Ray gets inside of Leuzinger territory, still in territory, gets down close to the 30-yard line, taken out of bounds by Hunt, Andre Hunt. But that had to feel good for John L. Ray.
But let's see, what do we got here, dude?
Now another flag.
Yeah, because I'm looking to see it. They haven't moved anything, and now they're saying, looks like they're saying it's going to go against.
2 flags. It's against Hawthorne.
Illegal use of hands.
Probably on a block for Ray. Let's watch the replay. Hit him on the run, so that's good. Then he outruns Edgar Maharis. There was it right there.
Yeah, illegal
like
block.
Illegal block in the back. So back to the 50-yard line, but it's still a completion. So we're going to call it a net 6-yard completion to John L. Ray. So the penalty, a 10-yarder. But still 1st and 10.
So they give up 20 yards on the play, but they at least keep it down. Now we got a whistle.
Timeout Leuzinger. So that's the first time out of the game. With 9 minutes left to go in the half. You see some of the assistants. There's Damian Porter in the blue jacket. His assistants, Anthony Cobb, Joel Bronson, Govinda Kovin, and Michael Dade. Now, one thing that Coach Porter was telling us is that the Olympians are -7 in turnovers. Well, so far, there hasn't been any of that business.
Hadn't been any of that, but they've given up a couple of big penalties, which have given one penalty kept a Hawthorne drive alive when it was third and a whole lot. And then this other one gave Hawthorne excellent field position. Some coaches actually count those kind of penalties as almost as turnovers. Of course, not officially. As you said, officially tonight they have no turnovers, but you can rest assured that Coach Porter's keeping track of those type of big 15-yard penalties against his team.
Mapu has one back with him. That's Ray. Throws it into the flat on the far side. It's complete inside of Leuzinger territory to Jacobo at about the 45-yard line.
And his backs are making the catches a lot deeper, and they're curling back toward the line and giving up yardage. They gave up at least 3 to 4 yards on that play. I don't know if we can see it clearly from this angle, but you'll see him come back. Okay, so now he curls, and on the backward curl, gives up 3 of the yards he'd already gained on the play.
That's right. So it's back to the 47-yard line, so only a 3-yard gain. Should have been at least a 5-yard gain. There's a throw in the flat again, almost to the 40-yard line. Gets out of the tackle, and it could be a first down, but then the flags go flying after that. Saw a big hit over there, Rufus.
Yeah, it definitely was a big hit, and I think this one is going to be against the Olympians, and it's also going to be a personal foul. Let's look at this play all the way through. Can't quite tell who the receiver is, but I tell you what, he makes the catch right at the sticks and keeps digging.
It might be Jacobo or Morgan.
There he is. And I don't know if they have the defenseless receiver rule in high school football, but that's pretty much what that penalty amounted to.
So a completion is 7 yards, and then the penalty all the way down to the 20-yard line. So another 15-yarder against the Olympians. So that's 2 big penalties. There's Mapu going for the end zone, and it is in and out of the hands of the receiver. So a 20-yard attempt. And that was Jalen Morgan on this side.
And apparently they are shutting down Jacobo. Wow, that should have been caught, man. That one hit Morgan right in the shoulder pads.
Mapu again throws underneath, and little low and outside. And that was Justice Powers, the intended receiver. There's the pink pom-poms. So it'll be 3rd down and 10 from the 20.
And this is, you got to assume this is 4-down territory.
Look out from behind. Pass is caught at the 15. Then rustled down immediately by Adrian Galera. Jalen Morgan with the 5-yard catch.
There's a flag on the field that we can see from here. That thrown looks like from the position of the referee. Now it's going to be, that looks like a roughing the passer penalty. Well, either personal foul.
That's a half the distance, I guess, because it's to the 6-yard line. Yeah, there was somebody coming in from Mapu's left and may have hit him just as he released the ball. Or maybe, obviously, after if they had a penalty against them. So there's another big penalty. Down to the 6-yard line where it'll be 1st and goal. So from the 15 down to the 6, that's a 9-yard penalty net. Mapu hands the ball off and into the teeth of the Leuzinger defense. Not a whole lot of room.
And now there's another flag coming in from the head linesman.
And an injured Olympian.
Face mask is indication that it's against Hawthorne. That's what I saw the head linesman indicating to the referee. Personal foul, face mask. Whoa, okay.
Against Leuzinger. Wow.
Against Leuzinger.
So that'll be a 3-yard net penalty there. Half of the distance to the goal.
But it gives them a new set of downs. And let's see which Olympian this is.
Is that
Number
Edgar
25.
Maharis, the middle linebacker? And he's getting up awful slow.
Now we'll see if one of our intrepid sideline reporters recognizes that, boy, there's an injury situation. Let's see if we can get over and get a report. So it's going to be 1st and goal. And where they got it, Louis? They're inside the 5-yard line.
It should be at the 3 because it was at the 6 before the line of scrimmage. So 7:15 and counting. And under center is Mapu, and he tries to sneak his way in, and he is hit right at the line of scrimmage and pushed back. So let's see where they give the line of scrimmage to, or the forward progress. They're going to call it a no gain.
No gain on the play. It's going to be 2nd down and goal for the Cougars.
So it'll be 2nd and goal from the 3. Let's
Right.
watch that push from behind.
And it would seem to me if you're going to use John L. Ray, number 12, your running back, this would be the time.
He only has 1 rush for positive yardage, Rufus, out of 8 tries.
Now you're going to have a timeout taken. I suspect this is going to be by Coach Pazinger. Let's see. Yes, it is.
Timeout charge for the Cougars.
Okay, so 1 timeout each for each team. 6:26 left to go in the first half of play of the Mayor's Cup 2015. And you know what? This is the day. I know that I'm not a resident of the city of Lawndale, but this is the day that I miss Harold Hoffman the most.
Yep.
He was a big supporter, and there you see the training staff working on the right ankle of Edgar Maharis.
He was a big supporter of high school sports in the area. Obviously, Leuzinger was his preferred team. I mean, let's be clear about
Right.
that.
Oh, yeah.
But in all fairness to Mayor Hoffman, I mean, he supported this whole community, both Lawndale and Hawthorne, when it came to interscholastic athletics.
Here's Don Pazinger, the head coach of the Cougars, and there you kind of see their new logo, designed after Washington State's logo. I think it's pretty cool. There you see Marte Mapu, the quarterback, going to be in the shotgun. Spread offense, sported by the Cougars on 2nd down and goal from the 3. Back to pass, looks like a rollout,
That should
bootleg
be it.
into the end zone, touchdown for the Cougars. So 6:21 left to go, and it is 21-6 in favor of Leuzinger Olympians.
All right, and that was the score that they needed, and Mapu, as you said, with a 3-yard run.
So that was a bootleg all the way, I would imagine. That's 6:21, so that ate up some time, Rufus, an 80-yard drive. So that's some good tenacity and heart shown by the Cougars.
Absolutely.
But then they got some help from Lawndale with some big penalties. I believe there were 4 penalties on that drive.
There were at least 4, and there certainly were 2 as the extra point attempt was put up, and it's good.
Hunter Marquez tacks it on.
There were 2 big personal foul penalties against the Olympians. And actually, well, the whole drive started kind of weird because it started with Leuzinger kicking off from Hawthorne's 45-yard line.
So now maybe they should have squipped it.
Right.
But yeah, lots of penalties in there. Let's see if we can count them up there. Well, yeah, there were 4 penalties, a 15-yarder, personal foul, then a 10-yarder, and then the other personal fouls, but they were half the distance to the goal, but still, they're penalties. So 25, and let's see, 9, 25 and 34 and 3. There's 37 yards and penalties on that 80-yard drive.
Wow.
So it's almost half.
Almost half.
And I didn't even need my abacus for that one. Let's go to Sebastian Spencer real quick.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Injury report for you down here real quick. That Olympian that went down was Edgar Maharis. He actually got injured in the El Segundo game, left that game, did not return, has not played since. This is his first game back, but it looks like that is the exact same injury. We'll update you guys further on whether he'll be back in the game.
Thank you, Sebastian. And right on cue, Hunter Marquez boots it to the far sideline, to about the 12-yard line, where it's picked up by the Leuzinger Olympians, and that's Hunt. That's Andre Hunt trying to get around 2 more Cougars. Finally has met at about the 37-yard line and down there. But let's see what all the yellow flags are about around the 35-yard line, 30-yard line.
There are a bunch of them. Boy.
At least 2, and then 1 on the far sideline. So from the 15, a 45, 46-yard return. So, been flags galore. Now this is an officiating crew that we haven't seen. We've been kind of spoiled by one officiating crew for a few games.
By the Michael Barnes crew. As we talked about a little bit earlier, that's declined. Illegal block.
Okay.
They're going to accept that one. So you had 2 penalties against or 2 fouls, I should say, against the Olympians. And basically what goes into the decision making really is where each one occurred, and you take the one that occurred the farthest back to push him backward.
Okay, so I guess the 25-yard line is the spot of the foul, so they're going to go back to the 10, or not the 15, excuse me. Eighth penalty in the first half for Leuzinger. So
and that's a lot of penalty yardage that has been against them tonight.
Sure is.
And boy, that's a big break for the Cougars.
Again. And now we got another flag in the backfield. And it's going to be false start.
And this is one of those things, Lou, that Coach Porter talked to us about when he said, one, we want to minimize the mistakes, eliminate the turnovers, and be physical. And right now, they're not minimizing the mistakes.
That's true. As the ball is handed off, and Galera blasting through up to the 20-yard line, to the 21. So that's an 11-yard gain for Adrian. His longest gain of the night. And it'll be 2nd down and 4. I would call it 3. How about that? 2nd and 3.
And if you're the Hawthorne defense, boy, you had these guys in a hole at their 15-yard line. Now you're giving them life 2nd and 4 as the ball is out across the 20, needing to get to the 25. And you're wanting to make a defensive hole here to give yourself new life.
Good patience by Galera, but he was caught from behind and down at the 25. That might be good enough for a first down, Rufus.
Oh, that should be a first. Well, they're going to say it's a 3rd, man. I don't know where that chain is on the other side. Now the referee says, well, no, that's not the first down indication. Or is it?
But a good tackle.
No, he's telling them it's a first down.
Okay. Eric Holmes, I believe, was the outside linebacker, and that is a first down. So a 3-yard gain and a first down for Galera.
Because I was like, if the ball starts on one line and moves to the line to gain, and it's on that line, how can it not be a first down?
Ball is handed off again. Nice hole and a flag. Probably a hold.
Yep.
Galera with a 4-yard gain, but that might be called back.
Holding. Against
So
the
another
Olympians.
10 yards. 92 yards in penalties. We still have another 4:28 left. Let's watch the replay, see if we can find it.
Well, we won't see it in that shot because it was a little wider out.
Well, there was some jousting going on with Alberto Perez, number 75, but it goes back to the 15.
So it's a first down and
20.
a bunch.
1st and 20. Ball is handed off again. Galera trying to go wide and is tackled. Nice tackle. And that was by Denzel Nembhard.
Galera comes off after the play, and now hustling on the field is Lionel Smith.
Number 1 on his back, number 1 in our hearts. Listed at 5'6", 160, the senior. Timeout taken at 3:45. So Leuzinger down to one more timeout.
And actually, that timeout is as helpful to Hawthorne as it is to the Olympians.
Why is that?
Because what it does, it gives Coach Pasinger, they've got him in a 2nd and long, a 2nd and 15 situation. And what he's saying to his defense, this gives him an opportunity to set his defense for the next 2 plays. And he appreciates that because he knows if we can stop him here, we've got a chance to get the ball back with time on the clock and 2 timeouts in our pocket in pretty decent field position.
It's 2nd down and 16 right now.
And conversely, I can assure you one of the things that Coach Porter is saying to his guys right now
is keep the flags in the pocket.
Keep the flags in the pocket. And as he talked about earlier, boy, this is one of those situations where the last thing, if you're losing it, that you want to have happen is a turnover down on your end of the field.
10 penalties committed by Leuzinger in the first half. Still 3:45 left to go. Spread offense. Looks like everybody's going to be going in the pattern. Swing pass, and reaching back for the ball was Smith. It's a completion, but it's a 5-yard loss.
And making an appearance up in the booth is Devontae Mookie.
Uh-oh. Who that is. Always good to see alumni come back. Getting the swing pass is that Galera. Gets to about the 17-yard line. Whoa. Actually, that's Hunt. Andre Hunt catches the ball.
Short gain.
Maybe to the 18.
Short gain on the play, not nearly enough for the first down. So out of that exchange, Lou, that was exactly what I was saying, was that Hawthorne actually, with the opportunity to set their defense the way they wanted, took advantage of the timeout. Leuzinger didn't, okay? And now it's a fourth and a whole lot with Hawthorne having the opportunity to get the ball back with 2:30 left here in the first half.
Morgan and Jacobo back to receive the punt. Acosta kicks it high,
and short,
but not very far. Gets a neutral bounce out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Olympians.
So after they were down 21-0, virtually after the first quarter, they now find themselves with 2:17 left, only down by a pair of touchdowns and an opportunity to cut that deficit in half.
That's right. They have a chance to get right back in it. That's for sure. And that was a 25-yard punt. 25-yard punt by Acosta. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Mapu and the Olympians. See if they can do something with it. Back to pass. Look out. He's being run down. A man open.
Whoa.
That is almost picked off by Hunt. And also he's being chased down by Sean Lawless. But boy, if Andre Hunt caught that on the run, forget about it. Let's watch it. Going to have a good view of it right here.
Threw it behind his receiver, and man, Hunt like Galera will both be having nightmares about missed pick sixes that they had.
That was the 20th pass completion for Marte Mapu here in the first half. Here comes number 21. Ball is caught at the 40-yard line, pops out, and still a live ball. Haven't heard a whistle. And Morgan falls on the ball to the 45-yard line. Let's watch it here, Rufus. Nice catch. He's got it. And the ball gets ripped out.
And man, it's ripped out by number 13 for the Olympians. And of course, that is none other than, and we'll tell you that in a moment, Jeremiah Smith is number 13 who ripped the ball out.
2 minutes, 1 second left to go in the first half. A loss on the play, a net loss on the play of 2 yards. So it'll be 2nd down, or 3rd down, I should say. Should be 3rd down and 11. Mapu, look out from behind, throws the ball. It's caught almost at the 1st down marker, but not quite.
I don't know.
As that was caught by Carlos Jacobo with Samisi Luwaki breathing down Mapu's neck. They mark it at the 35, Rufus. It's going to be about a yard short.
Now you got a personal foul penalty against the Olympians as well from the end of the play, and that's going to move them 15 more yards.
Wow. So the ball goes all the way down to the 20-yard line.
So what was looked like it was going to be just short of a 1st down ends up being a 1st down again. The last time they were down here at the 20, they converted that opportunity. Let's see what they can do now.
107 yards and penalties for the Olympians. Mapu throws it short. Look out, and almost got intercepted.
They rule incomplete. Leuzinger thinking that they had intercepted it, but there's no replay. But let's see if we can see the replay.
There's
Ball
the
is
tip.
tipped.
That's gonna bring up second down.
And
No, it was on the ground.
Yep.
Timeout charge, Cougars.
And now Hawthorne uses their second timeout with 1:32 left in the half. Coach Pazinger clearly wanting to take advantage of this opportunity, Lou. And obviously, for reasons that are obvious, they're down 21-7. But, man, they're knocking on the door. They're in the red zone at the 20-yard line, and it's a second down and 10.
I'd say that they'd have to get another 5 yards to be within true field goal range for Hunter Marquez, which would make it about a 32-yarder. But right now they're at a 37-yard attempt with 1:32 left to go. There you see the Spirit squad of Leuzinger, two of the best in the business. Leuzinger's and Hawthorne Spirit squad. And the big dog is barking in the background. 1:32 left to go in the first half. Mapu back to pass. Pocket breaking down, and is the ball loose? But it was fallen on by a Cougar, luckily for them. Number 69, Juan Jamino.
Now take it back to the 25-yard line. 7 makes it 32. 42-yard field goal here on fourth. Should be. Thought it was going to be fourth down.
Well, you had the penalty.
Okay.
Well, actually, yeah. Well, it was after the play, though.
So the sideline marker and the official is right there beside it. Shows third down. They need to get to the 10. They're out at the 25.
And now somebody called. Well, actually, there's a flag thrown by the back judge.
Delay a
Is
game.
that delay a game? Yep. Usually when he throws it from back there, it's a delay a game. And it is. So now that's only the third penalty for Hawthorne. And that's good enough for 30 yards.
Right. But now it makes it a 3rd and 20. And again, out of field goal range in my estimation, unless their kicker has some skills I don't know about. Clock's running. They've got to get up to the line and run and try to run a couple of plays.
They were about 15 yards from the ball. So now Mapu in the spread. And
that's going to be offensive.
Somebody's going to get an interference call.
Well, I think that's going to go against the offense. From what I saw, I thought the receiver pushed off. But let's see how this goes. Because I thought sure the receiver pushed off.
Intended receiver was Jacobo.
And he hadn't gone in Jacobo's direction in a while.
Well, it all depends on where number 9 is. I mean, White, I would imagine. Face mask against Leuzinger is the call. So that's an automatic first down. Let's see if we can find it. With 21 seconds left to go in the half.
And that's going to be the problem for Hawthorne now. I mean, let's see how good these kids are at managing the clock. They do have one timeout in their hip pocket, but boy, they got to make quick plays.
Timing pattern for the end zone up, and is it caught?
Wow.
No.
Okay.
Out of bounds by Jacobo.
Well, no, they picked up a first down, so it'll be a second down.
Right.
Okay, now confusion is reigning supreme. Because how are you going to have a personal foul penalty that doesn't result in a first down?
It should be second down, right? But no, it says fourth down and 5.
Well,
it should have been first and 10
right
after the personal foul. That's an automatic first down, right?
That's what I thought.
Okay, Mapu, though, and the Leuzinger defense, the ball is loose, and it's picked up by Sean Lawless. Lawless down to the 40-yard line of the Cougars and slides out of bounds at about the 30 with 2 seconds left. A smart play by Lawless to get out of bounds. But he gets up, and either a cramp or something's wrong with that left leg.
Yeah, and that whole situation that Hawthorne.
Now let's watch this replay. As he gets plowed by number 44. We're going to have to find out who number 44 is.
So the officials indicate that it's a free ball. That's why they stay with the play.
And there goes the referee's marker down there. And Lawless is off to the races. Let's see if we can see where he got hurt. He might have tucked his ankle underneath him and rolled over. Ouch. Let's hope that that's all it is just a sprain or just a tweak.
Well,
or a cramp.
He's not feeling good right now. And if that was number 12 in the program, unless they change the number, that shows as DeAnthony Jones.
Sean Lawless.
Sean Lawless, okay.
But we'll have to verify that.
All right.
I know our intrepid reporters haven't given us any help as far as rosters. Wasn't there something that said asking ye shall receive?
Yes.
Except if you're a sideline reporter. There's Sean coming off. Looking a little better than he did a couple of minutes ago. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Olympians at the Hawthorne 27. So time enough for one play. And will they be safe and give it to Galera, or will they go for the end zone? Might as well put it up. Jackson, though, can't because he is brought down by the Cougar defense.
And that's good defense by Hawthorne, boy, not to let them make anything out of that last-second opportunity.
Gio Hernandez.
So it's been a pretty good half of football. Leuzinger, of course, leading 21-7. But, man, Hawthorne had the ball 1st and 10 from the Leuzinger 20 and just could not make anything out of it. They had a chance to make this a 7-point ball game.
Yeah, they sure did. All right.
So
but the big story didn't hurt him, Rufus. Got a dozen penalties. And for 122 yards by the Olympians.
Wow. That's way too many for any football team.
That's just in the first half. All right, well, I do not believe we're going to have anything going on as far as interviews, it doesn't appear. Tom, do we have anything?
Nope, I see those two walking off.
But I do want to tell you that the Leuzinger High School girls volleyball team is going to be honored here at halftime because they took care of business against Lawndale and Hawthorne, beating them both up pretty good. So hats off to the Lady Olympians.
All righty then.
And there they are, and there we are. And we are going to take a timeout, and we'll be back with the third quarter action right after this.
Hi, I'm Donnell Beverly from the University of Connecticut, home of the 2011 National Championship UConn Huskies basketball team, and your Leuzinger Olympians.
Beverly around the back, follow-away jumper, good, beautiful shot.
It wasn't too long ago that I was playing basketball right here.
I just want to thank him for having me here. I'm honored to play here.
And the Huskies are the top dog in 2011.
Winning the NCAA championship has always been a goal of mine, but so is getting a great education that will last me a lifetime. You can achieve your goals too. All you have to do is work hard and dream hard, and you can do anything you put your mind to.
Back here at Lou House, just before the start of the third quarter of the Mayor's Cup, with Leuzinger leading 21-7. Let's go down to Sebastian.
I talked to Coach Paysinger going into the half. He talked about how his team was not finishing plays and how they just felt like they were not playing in the moment. On the other side for the Olympians, I did talk to Coach Porter, and he felt like his team was playing like the game was already over. So he wanted them to go into the second half with the mindset that they were down. So he told those guys, hustle up, play like you never played before, because he doesn't want the Cougars to score another touchdown. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you very much, Sebastian. Let's go over some of the numbers. And for the Hawthorne Cougars, Marte Mapu is 12 out of 24 with 81 yards and 1 fumble. There was 1 touchdown scored, and that was by Marte Mapu on the ground, who had 3 rushes for 18 yards. And leading receiver Carlos Jacobo with 4 catches and 41 yards. 21 yards on 2 catches for Joseph Areola. And in rushing, Jonell Ray with -8 yards in 8 carries. So the Leuzinger rushing attack, or rushing defense, is very good. Malik Jackson, 4 out of 5, 123 yards and 2 touchdowns. 2 of the touchdowns were 93 yards and 35 yards to Andre Hunt, who also had a 3-yard catch. The third touchdown was scored by Lionel Smith, the A train, the number 1 train. 1 carry, 22 yards and a touchdown. Andre Hunt with 3 catches, 128 yards and 2 touchdowns. And leading rusher, Adrian Galera, 6 carries for 24 yards. Leuzinger will get the ball to start the second half. Hawthorne just now coming onto the field in their kicking formation. And it appears that Lauren Bowen will be on the near side for Leuzinger, and Andre Hunt will be on the right side. And kicking things off, it'll be Hunter Marquez. Rufus, what were your thoughts on the first half?
Well, I thought it was the first half in which Leuzinger started out strong, then started to fizzle. I mean, the penalties, which, and I mentioned about some coaches consider them turnovers, and the way that they affected Leuzinger and just killed all of their momentum and gave Hawthorne life, you have to consider them as turnovers as we prepare, for the second half here. Unfortunately for Hawthorne, they've got to give the ball over to Leuzinger to start with, so they're going to be challenged right off the top to start the second half.
12 penalties for 122 yards for the Leuzinger Olympians. So they're going to have to start to get things going here. And that's Lionel Smith is on the near side, not Lauren Bowen. And over on the right, it's Andre Hunt.
Lauren Bowen is out there as one of the upbacks. He's at the 30-yard line, but the deep return men, as you mentioned, are Smith and Hunt. If we ever get the kickoff going.
Well, there's some question with the coaches and the officials, and it looks like we're finally going to get things underway. And they kick it towards Hunt, but it takes a funny bounce.
That ball's
and
live.
Picked it up and picked up by Hunt, and he falls down at about the 27-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Olympians from that spot.
Wow. And the Cougar special teams player was right there. I thought for a second, if we could see a replay on that one, I thought for a second he was going to make it, because that, unlike a punt, which is dead until it's touched, okay, which brings it live, a kickoff is live the moment the kickoff man kicks the ball. The kicker, I should say.
So fortunately, Hunt fell on it for the Olympians, and Jackson rolls out to the right, throws it on the run. His receiver had to try to come back for it, but not catching up with it with Jeremiah Smith. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 27.
And, of course, Jackson is a 6'1", 160-pound sophomore. And Coach Porter's made the decision that I'm going to ride with Jackson the rest of the way. This is the future for my program.
And he'll be out of the shotgun with Galera in the backfield with him. Ball will be handed off to Adrian, trying to get through the hole, and does. Pounding his way up to about the 31-yard line, where it'll be 3rd down and about 7.
And if you're a Hawthorne, boy, that's exactly the situation you want to be in. Got Leuzinger playing from with their back at their own end zone, and a 3rd and long with a chance to come up with a big hole here and get the ball back at the start of the second half. I mean, here as the second half has just started.
3 receivers to the right, they go to the left. The ball is caught at about the 49-yard line, falling forward to the 40. And it should be good enough for a 1st down, and good sense of presence by Andre Hunt.
Well, he went to his most reliable receiver, and he comes up with the big play for him.
So that was a 9-yard gain for number 9. Just the start of things in the 3rd quarter. Glad you joined us for the Mayor's Cup as Galera slips and falls down a yard short of the chains.
Well, they give him the line of scrimmage very generously.
Yeah, it sure is.
So I'll make it a 2nd down and 10.
Hawthorne with a 4-man front. Back to pass is Jackson. Good blocking as it's a quarterback draw. Looked like he had trouble getting a handle on this snap, or it could have been a planned quarterback draw, but not a whole lot of room. As a matter of fact, that's a loss of about 3 yards. Goes back to the 37-yard line.
That's one of those plays that they say that didn't develop quite like it was supposed to.
So -3 on the play. Big 3rd down play on both sides. Or is this 4th down? 3rd down. Got to check with these guys. 2 receivers on either side of Jackson, and we have the line judge throwing a flag on the other side. And it's offside, 5-yard penalty, so 5 more, so it'll be 3rd and 18.
And if you're Hawthorne again, you've got them right where you want them.
So out of the shotgun, same formation. Jackson throws off to the side, and that could have been picked off as it went off of the hands of the intended receiver. So it's going to be 4th down and 18, and a punting situation, as coming on is Adrian Acosta, the punter. From the 32-yard line. Back to receive the punt is Carlos Jacobo, just inside of his own 35-yard line. And there you see Acosta. Running onto the field is Jose Martinez.
Wow.
Trying to get the Cougars to jump offside. And it's a short kick, but Lionel Smith is on the ball at about the 32-yard line. We'll call it the 31-yard line. Yeah, we'll call it 32.
Yep, and so Lawndale gets good. Lawndale. Hawthorne. Hawthorne gets good.
Now, I did see the lights on over at the cage,
right.
Over the nest, I should say.
Hawthorne gets good field position here. And more importantly, I got to tell you, Coach Basinger has to like the fact that his defense answered the bell right there at the start of the second half and kept his team within striking distance. They gave up only one first down before they held them on downs. And now the offense comes back on the field with a chance to get some more positive momentum.
Quarterback for the second half is Marte Mapu. And he hands the ball off. This time a hole opens for the running back, John L. Ray. And he almost didn't know what to do with himself. Gets up to the 48-yard line. Check that 38-yard line, so a 7-yard gain. That's his biggest run of the night, as he got Andre Hunt to run right by him on a good move.
And it puts him, you're right, it was a big run for him, puts him in a 2nd and short.
It's a 6-yard gain officially, so 2nd and 6. So now we have a penalty flag by the back judge. Is that too much?
Well,
no, I think they called a timeout first.
It's always going to be a delay of game, and they get the timeout. Boy, they burn one here. Now, that's going to be important to make a note of, Lou.
Yeah, 8:19 of the third quarter.
Shout out to our Olympian marching band. Shout out to our Olympian
So a
drill
timeout,
squad, drill team squad.
and yeah, like you were saying, Rufus, this would be an advantageous time for the Cougars to collect themselves and get back into this thing, because the Olympian attack is stalled, and they've been giving the Cougars everything but pretty paper and a bow on the ball with all the penalties.
Absolutely. And Hawthorne has to, if they want to win this game, they've got to start taking advantage of those, and Mapu has to start hitting his receivers. That time, that one was on the quarterback. He just threw it short. Receiver was actually open. In fact, he had 2 receivers open on the play.
Yeah, he did. So that one goes in the dirt, right in between the 2 receivers. So 12 out of 25 on the night for Mapu. Better watch that rotator cuff. There's Marte, 6'3" junior. Look out. Has to throw it in a hurry, and did he catch it?
Yeah, no, there's a flag on the play, though. They're going to say the Leuzinger defender, who may have been Galera, actually, interfered with the receiver.
Well, they're calling it pass interference. So the spot of the foul, actually it should be just, if it's pass interference, it should be from the line of scrimmage, right? In high school?
That's what you would
Okay,
thought, especially since it was a pass play. Now the ball's loose all over the field. Official has to.
Leuzinger tried to give it a little bit of a shove backwards, but it goes. Actually, they got another couple of yards out of it, because the original line of scrimmage was the 38. This is to the 50. And there's an interception. This one could go all the way for the Olympians. And there goes DeAnthony Jones in the touchdown for the touchdown.
Threw it right to him.
Marte Mapu threw it right to him, Rufus.
Certainly did. Man, you're sitting here, and I'm like, I don't believe what I'm seeing at the moment, because he just threw the ball right to DeAnthony Jones, a la Freddie Brown of Georgetown, throwing the ball right to James Worthy
What about
in the 1982 national championship game, and that was lights out for Georgetown that year.
That's right. And what about Rod Martin picking off, was it Joe Theismann?
Yep.
In the Super Bowl. So a 50-yard interception return for DeAnthony Jones. So Acosta coming on to tack on the extra point out of the hold of Lauren Bowen. And that one is true and through. 7:58 left to go, and the Cougars were on track. And then all of a sudden, DeAnthony Jones derails the Cougars for a 50-yard interception return, and it's 28-7.
Wow. One play, you go from being in a situation of being down by 7. One play turns the table the other way, 360, and now you're down by 21.
Let's watch it on the replay. Boom.
Wow.
I don't think Mapu even saw him until he threw the ball.
Right.
Let's go down to Sebastian.
Okay, guys, change of plan. So Edgar Maharas, who was ruled out in the first half, is now back in the game. I saw him walking on the sideline with his shoe on, and I asked him, are you going back in? He said, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I made a goal. So he's back in the game. Who knows why, but he's in. Back to you guys.
Because he wants to play, that's why. And they need him. He's their big middle linebacker.
Now
He's the anchor of the defense.
That. Okay, so now Sebastian sets him up and you knock him down.
That's it. Come on now. If my big dog wants to play in the yard, I'm going to take the leash off him. After all, Rufus, this is the Mayor's Cup.
It's the Mayor's Cup. Ball goes into the end zone. It'll come
now.
out to the 20-yard line.
I'm not even going to say I'm sorry. Okay.
And we know that Coach Pazinger is committed to Mapu, so let's see if he comes back out and is under center.
Well, they do have Andrew Kalinowski, excuse me. But I think at this point, would you have to stay true to Mapu?
Well, first of all, I mean, he's the better of the two. He's your experienced guy.
Now Leuzinger's defensive line is just fired up. And coming off the bottom of the pile is Milwaukee. So Jonell Ray is going backwards again after a 6-yard gain. He's now going backwards again.
And I think we need to take a closer look to confirm who actually is under center.
No, there's the line. Yep, it's Mapu, number 5.
Okay.
Back to pass. Throws it out on the flat and throws it low. But giving pressure was Monteiro Wynn. So it'll be 4th down and about 14. This one fell right in the same spot on the last drive. So is this 3rd down? 3rd down at about 14. Back to pass is Mapu. Pocket breaks down, and he is going to go under. Sacked by Leuzinger.
And Mapu has to see that coming and do whatever he can to keep the play alive and to keep it going, and definitely not take the sack. I mean, right now he looks right up into the teeth of that defense and turns his back to it. Not quite sure why you do that instead of continuing to face forward and make your moves from there.
He really had nowhere to go, Rufus, and in his defense. So he was surrounded and swallowed up by DeAnthony Jones.
Well, that was my point about you got to see that happening, though. Wow.
Almost blocked and picked up by Hunts. He gets to the 30-yard line. Look out. He's going to cut back in and spin around and get down around the 10-yard line. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Olympians at about the 5-yard line.
Inside the 10-yard line, it's going to be 1st and goal for the Olympians.
So the Olympians looking like they got rejuvenated at halftime. And that last drive that Hawthorne wasn't able to turn into points, looks like it may have taken a bit of the wind out of their sails.
Going to call it a 33-yard return for Andre Hunt. So at the 5-yard line of Hawthorne. And a timeout by the referee. So we're going to see what that's all about.
For one, they had an individual over on the side that they're having removed from that area of the field.
So now we're set with 6:06 left to go in the third. Leuzinger sitting in the catbird seat. Gives it off to Adrian Galera. Had a big hole, but that's whistled dead.
Flag's going to be against the Olympians. And now what do we got? We got
an injured player on the field.
Wow.
Actually, he is.
Man.
This is might. Let's hope that this person down there is not hurt too bad.
There's okay.
That's
now
good.
we
His
see
legs
some
are
movement.
moving.
Because for a moment there, Lou, I saw no movement with his hands in a prone position. That was
and that's not
a
good
big
news.
concern. Yeah. But they're going to say one of the trainers indicate that he was hitting the head, which means now you've got a potential concussion situation. So let's see if we see it right. We see him there.
There
you
he
go.
is right there. He might have gotten a knee in the helmet. Yeah, when you see those hands go up in the air like that, that usually means that the bell has been rung. I'm not a neurosurgeon, but
right.
Let's see if we can. Boom! There it is. Right, the knee right to the chin. There's the Olympian. Yeah, Adrian Galera, we watched that replay. He was lucky to regain that ball. That was fumbling it.
Right.
There's Donald Pasinger.
And so while they attend to the injured Cougar that's down the field, does give us a chance to mention that we had Devontae Mookie Carr from Leuzinger basketball lore just gone by. And Devontae was, well, you talk about a workhorse on the court for Coach Pavaz's teams. I'm sure Coach Jones wish he still had another year eligibility left with him here. A real player, and understand. And I'm told that Devontae and Lawndale's Orlando and Delano Beckles all play on the same prep school team, and they'll be playing this Sunday along with Joe Benton.
Yeah.
You remember little Joe?
Little Joe.
And Sean Temple.
Joe Benton. I think our timekeeper knows Joe.
Yeah.
Joseph.
So all those guys are playing on the same team now, and they'll be playing their first game this Sunday. And if my schedule permits, I certainly intend to go out
You want to
and
carpool?
see them. Absolutely, over at Westminster High.
That's it.
It'd be fun to check them out.
It's on your way over there.
Yep.
Now you a little detour to come get me, but you know.
Of course, I got a map question because I know where one of the schools in
Is it Westminster High School?
Well, that's what we're told, that it's Westminster High.
That's right out the 405
okay.
there, and what is that street there? Golden. It's not Golden. Might be Golden West, or is it or not?
No, I know it's not.
Okay, well, it's in that neck of the woods.
Right.
There. So yeah. We'll find it.
In fact, I think it's Euclid, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Off the 405 in Euclid.
On the north side of the 405, you can see their ag department over there as they're still attending to the injured Cougar.
And they're
Then again,
communicating with them.
We don't want to speculate what happened, but.
And of course, the first thing you do is take all the time that's necessary. There's no rush here.
And if there's been an indication of a head injury, that means they're going to have to call.
And we can't see the shot, but I'm going to assume that that's the player's mom. If we can stretch that out a little bit. Yep.
Okay, that could be mom.
That's Coach Pazinger, head
to the
coach.
left. And a trainer and one of the medical staff, and right in the center there is one of the assistant coaches, and the team manager is on the right, and there's a assistant principal for Hawthorne. And while this is going on, we'll try to get an injury update for you and take a timeout on CityTV.
Hi, I'm Donnell Beverly from the University of Connecticut, home of the 2011 National Championship Yukon Huskies basketball team, and your Leuzinger Olympians.
Beverly around the back, follow-away jumper, good, beautiful shot.
It wasn't too long ago that I was playing basketball right here.
I just want to thank him for having me here. I'm honored to play here.
And the Huskies are the top dog in 2011.
Winning the NCAA championship has always been a goal of mine, but so is getting a great education that will last me a lifetime. You can achieve your goals too. All you have to do is work hard and dream hard, and you can do anything you put your mind to.
Back here at Lou House, Mayor's Cup interrupted, unfortunately, by an injury to linebacker Troy Oliver, and Sebastian Spencer has a report.
So, guys, I was able to talk to one of the paramedics. They did say that Troy did have movement in his hands, but it looks like it could be something lower, below the waist, but they're going to run tests on him, get some x-rays, and find out what's going on with him. They didn't have an exact issue of what was going on, but they did say that he did have movement in his upper body. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, and let's hope it's just a stinger. Looks like he took a real good hit to the chops. And the ball is fumbled, and it's loose. It looks like Hawthorne fell on it.
Boy, it sure does. I'd be surprised if it's not Deers, because, man, that's what I saw was a red body on it, and yes, it is.
Yep. And that is number 22, Eric Holmes.
First down and 10 for the Cougars. That ball was recovered by number 22, Eric Holmes.
And just from under center, that was a fumble lost by Jackson. So recovered by Holmes.
Fortunate opportunity there for the Cougars as Marte Mapu brings his offense back out on the field, trailing 28-7 here in the third quarter.
5:48 left to go, and Mapu will hand the ball off. And that was that Mapu kept the ball on the quarterback draw up to the 30-yard line. So that'll be a first down.
Officials timeout being taken now as they stop the clock for a moment.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line for Hawthorne. Now Hawthorne with the ball can use the injury to Troy Oliver as some momentum. (28-7), Hawthorne trailing, has the ball, and oh my goodness, what a hit on John L. Ray. That was Alberto Perez and number 44, Suliaki Fakava.
And Hawthorne has a couple of huge old linemen, but as I look here, one thing that happened that I'm seeing is that on the run, Ray didn't run behind those linemen or in the gaps that they should be able to create.
They should be able, especially with their left tackle. That's the big 6'7" senior, the Salatai. And back judge throws the flag.
Looks like, well, he's pointing over to the Hawthorne, to the Leuzinger bench.
Is everybody in their box? Appears to be. Maybe it's just a warning. Now Damian Porter going out to talk with the referee. Is it a clock thing? Or yeah, they are telling the people on the sideline to move back.
Well, that's also the mechanic that he's right, that he's going to penalize them.
We've got student photographers and press photographer and other people. Got some alumni down there as well. So just a warning, it's going to be 2nd down and 11. Under 5 minutes left to go in the 3rd quarter. Back to pass is Mapu, and the shotgun is caught over on the far sideline. And it's completed to Justice Powers, and he was tackled by Montiero Wynn. 36-yard line is now the new line of scrimmage, so a 6-yard gain. And that's the first completion since the first half. So seven attempts, one of them was an interception. Mapu back to pass, looking this way, throws, is caught by Morgan. Morgan gets a first down into Leuzinger territory and is tackled there.
And that was a good-looking pass by, 2 good-looking passes by Mapu.
To the 47-yard line of Leuzinger. So 16 yards. Out of the shotgun, back to pass again. Throws it on the run and caught. Nice job on the far sideline around the 30-yard line by the Cougars. And caught again by Justice Powers.
And that time Mapu did what you heard me talk about earlier in the game, Lou, was he recognized the defense, saw it coming toward him, and rolled away from it. And that gave him the opportunity to keep the play alive, and he picks up a first down.
So 33 yards gained in 2 pass plays. They're earning this one on their own. 3:45 left to go in the 3rd. On a quarterback keeper, quarterback draw. Slips through a couple of tackles inside the 25-yard line is Mapu. Down to about the 23-yard line, 24-yard line.
And coming out of there was Jeremiah Smith with the football. He thought he had gotten a strip. The officials, now we're going to watch the replay here and see.
Well, Jeremiah went for the ball, that's for
Well,
sure. Well, yeah, you might.
I'm not so sure he didn't take that one. But
no replay. We're the only ones that have that, and our stripes aren't the same color. So a 6-yard gain for Mapu.
Exactly. So
back to
Hawthorne
pass.
gets to keep.
Oh! Milwaukee made Mapu throw it to the wrong side, and Adrian Galera almost came up with a diving interception. So it'll be 3rd down and a long 3 yards.
You know, and I got to say, if you Mapu, man, you got to look at Drew Brees and Russell Wilson to see how quickly those guys sprint out and find the passing lane. You know, it's something. it takes quickness to get it done. You know, when you're a smaller quarterback, you've got to get out there quickly so you can see the play in front of you.
Ball is handed off, and oh my goodness. Leuzinger's linemen come in and splatter the matter of the Cougars.
Tackled by number 58 and number 50.
That was Jorge Linares, number 58. We'll have to figure out who that is.
And it's a 4th down play now, according to the sideline marker.
Do you have 58 in your roster?
Leuzinger 58, nope.
Okay. No 58 on our rosters. 2:17 left to go in the third quarter, clock running. 28-7 is our score. Leuzinger with the lead in 2015 Mayor Cup. Back to pass is Mapu, wants to throw to the nearest far sideline.
Flag, and that's going to go against Leuzinger, and that's going to give Hawthorne a first down. And you can see that one from a mile away. That's Monterio Wynn Jr. who's going to get called on the play.
So from the point of the foul, or from the line of scrimmage, 24-yard line, that's going to go all the way down near the 10. At least that's what it should happen.
And it depends on the exact call that they make in terms of what the mark-off will be. If it's defensive holding, it's from the line of scrimmage, 5 yards, and an automatic first. And it looks like that's the way they're going to mark it.
Well, there they go.
Well, no, now they're going to keep going. All right.
Okay, so
the hesitation move got the better.
Yeah,
you see the hold.
that was a good move.
Exactly,
there's
right
one,
there on
and then
the
there's
replay.
the interference.
Right. So he got his money's worth, that's for sure.
Sure did. Down to the 14. So it's a 10-yard net, 10-yard penalty.
But a first down, that's the important
Most important thing, yeah. Mapu looked like he wanted and had the option to hand it off to Ray, but by then the Leuzinger defensive line had already come in. So a loss on the play of, we'll call it 2. From the 16, sorry,
and
Rufus.
we've seen Mapu run it a couple of times, and I think him running the ball is not a bad option for this Hawthorne offense.
Out of the shotgun, swings it out for a naked screen, but it was too far over the head of Janal Ray. So they call it the naked screen or the waggle, depending on what era. Maybe they call it something different now.
Yep.
It's an incomplete pass.
Exactly. That they still call the same thing.
Okay, so it should be 3rd down and long. It is. They call it 3rd and 10. Five receivers in the pattern, 3 on the left. And Mapu looking that way, throwing towards the end zone. It is
touchdown!
Caught. Touchdown, Cougars.
That was number 6 with the reception for the Cougars. Boy, that is Carlos Jacobo.
Yes, sir.
Who we know is Mapu's favorite target. Man, he stayed with it. He juggled it for a moment, as you see here on the replay. Nice tight spiral.
And he came back for that, Rufus. Good job by Carlos. D'Angelo Dyer was on the defense. So Hunter Marquez coming on to kick the extra point, but the officials call timeout. So Mapu, 16-yard pass to Jacobo at the 1:16 mark. High snap, and this one's blocked. So the snap again high. That's only the second time it was a high snap. Because we saw a lot of them last time we saw these Cougars, but
So the failed extra point attempt makes it a 28-13 ball game. Obviously, if the Cougars get in the end zone again, they'll go for 2. But hey, they're in striking distance, and we've still got over a quarter of football left here. As you can see, a scoreboard on your screen, 28-13 in favor of the Leuzinger Olympians.
10 plays, 80 yards, and Rufus, that took about 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Mapu to Jacobo.
And we saw a couple of things on that possession. One, we saw Mapu run the ball. 2, we saw, again, a Leuzinger penalty, which kept a drive alive for Hawthorne. And 3, Mapu with a nice pass to his favorite receiver, obviously Carlos Jacobo.
And then he made a good move to get to the ball.
Absolutely, made the circus catch, juggled it a couple of times, and now we see in your screen the return team, or at least half of the return team on the near side. That's Lionel Little Train Smith, along with number 2 back there with them. Not with them, but in that screen was Lauren Bowen. And on the far side is one of the Hunt brothers.
Andre.
That you can be assured of.
Marquez about ready to kick the ball. Let's see which side he goes to with 1:15 left to go in the third quarter.
Well, that's a pick your poison decision. Neither one of those is preferred, but he obviously chooses to go right and make it short.
1 missed tackle, 2 missed tackles, and finally, Andre Hunt is tackled. So it's at the 30-yard line. So let's see if the Olympians can cash in there. But it was a little bit of a pooch kick, and Marquez didn't want either one of them.
Exactly.
So tried to hit the up man, but it was a little bit too far.
Well, that and obviously doesn't have a lot of leg strength to put the ball in the end zone, because if he could do that, they would have ended up at the 20 instead of the 30.
So Jackson will be under center out of the eye. Ball is handed off to Galera. Galera has a nice hole and gets beyond the 35-yard line, so it'll be 2nd and short. Ball is spotted at the 37. So none of these yards have been easy for either running back. It's just that Adrian has been getting positive yardage, and Johnell Ray has had the wrath of the Olympian defensive line. Looks like they're settling in for the run, and Galera running over people as he gets beyond the 45-yard line, and that should be good enough for a first down.
They'll move the chains again.
So a 12-yard run for Galera. With 26 seconds left to go in the third quarter, clock stopped. Damian Porter talking to his quarterback as the clock is now running. They might not run another play. So Malik Jackson just standing on the sideline near the 40-yard line. There you see the offensive coordinator calling his team in with 3 seconds left on the clock. And that's going to do it for the third quarter of action with the score 28-13.
A lot of things happening in tonight's contest, but right now the most important thing is the health and welfare of number 44, Troy Oliver, whom all of us are thinking about and certainly wishing the best for him. And if we're able to get a report before we sign off tonight, we'll certainly bring that information along to you.
Oh, absolutely.
I will tell you this, his teammates were inspired not in a way that you really want to be, but they did pick up some inspiration. Now you see the Leuzinger players being led by Galera. Does a little bit of everything.
Well, even Damian Porter.
Right.
Doing a little dancing, doing some moving and shaking with the Spirit Squad.
They're feeling pretty good, but I still got to say, this one ain't over.
No,
all right.
But it's a nice way to keep the guys loose.
Exactly. And if you're Hawthorne, the coaching staff, I'm sure, has impressed that upon the players that this is not over. We still have a chance.
But the fourth touchdown by Leuzinger really stung, as this one is taken by Hunt, and Hunt spins out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. Call it the 41.
Well, the fourth one, which was a pick six, that's the one that hurt Lou. That one, of all the scores that Leuzinger's gotten tonight, and they've gotten 4 touchdowns. That's why they have 28 points, 4 touchdowns, 4 extra points. If you're a Hawthorne fan, I mean that's the one you'll just go back and just gnash your teeth about.
Yeah, that's the one where Mapu didn't even see the linebacker, DeAnthony Jones, until the last second, until after he had thrown it and tried to reel it back with a string. As going back to the run, Adrian Galera gets beyond the 40-yard line. Doing the old Woody Hayes.
Yeah.
Cloud of dust and 3 yards. We'll call it 2 yards. I don't know why they haven't moved the chains yet.
Well, and then there's a flag. Okay, so you got an illegal procedure against the Olympians.
Okay, so it's going to be second down again and 5. Well, I thought that there was enough gained on the pass play for a first down, but I guess not. So 3 penalties and 20 yards for Leuzinger in this half. And Galera getting back to the 30-yard line, and another flag. They got some pushing and shoving going on. And this is between Alberto Perez and the Salatai.
Well, let's see if we can get the indication. I thought from the official that threw it, which is the line judge or the side judge, that it may have been a face mask, but let's see.
Well, Hawthorne's reacting like it's, a hold. Now let's see if we can see it.
Well, it must be right there. Okay, that's where it is on number 8. That's the other Hunt brother. For those of you who don't know, you got the Hunt brother and the other Hunt brother.
So it goes back to the Hawthorne 49. Galera again, but he's tackled firmly by John Ray, playing linebacker.
That's going to make it a 3rd and a little over 5.
Call it right about 5. Actually, a little less.
Right.
They have to get just before the 40-yard line. Handed off again to Galera, and he gets hit right at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 4th and short.
Whoa, that's what I thought. And there was a face mask in there by Hawthorne that didn't get called.
Yeah, they've been calling everything else.
And it's a 4th down for the Olympians.
4th and about 4.
And they come out indicating that they're going to go for it.
And there's the offside, and there's your
well,
first down. Maybe.
That's where you get the pointing left and the right. No, not me, him. Hell no, not him, me.
And, you know, Damian Portis doesn't look too happy about that.
Well, boy. Well, now he's happy because the referee indicates that it's against Hawthorne.
So it's to the 39-yard line, first down. Only the 4th penalty of the night for the Cougars. Out of the shotgun, hands the ball off to Bowen. Bowen racing and gets wrangled down.
He picked
By
up about 5. Because the first down marker is right at the 30, and they spot the ball at the 35.
So a 4-yard gain. Their line of scrimmage was the 39. So second and a little more than 5. 9:20 left to go in the 4th quarter. 3 receivers to the right. Jackson looks to the left, going for the end zone, has a man open. It's Hunt, but a little bit too far, overthrown. Guarded on the play by Denzel Nembhard.
Yep, overthrowing badly, though, on that play. Never had a chance for that one.
Should have put a little air underneath that.
You know, and you'll see on the replay here, drops back. Lays it out pretty, but just too far. Overthrew his intended receiver by 5 yards.
Andre's fast.
But not quite 5 yards extra fast. But here's the point, you know, we look at the penalties and we've made note of the fact that Leuzinger has, 12, 13 penalties and Lawndale only 4. But sometimes, you know, it's one penalty that can be a game changer, and that offsides penalty against Hawthorne, forgive me fans, please. Hawthorne a couple of plays ago, Luke, was huge because if they hadn't jumped, they had a chance to stop them, get the ball, but instead they gave them 3 more downs, clock moving, and now it's another 4th down. Oh my goodness! If
Did it call false start or timeout call?
Okay, I was going to say, and I mean, if they had jumped off again.
That was Malik Jordan that jumped.
Well, and he's lucky because actually he had jumped offside.
No, he did, but
Leuzinger was signaling for timeout, and that's what saved him.
So first timeout taken by Leuzinger with 8:44 left to go in the 4th quarter, leading 28-13, trying to be the first repeat team of the Mayor's Cup in quite a while. What, 5 years?
5 years since 2009.
Oh, by the way, that last play, the play before that, Lauren Bowen on a 3-point landing, all that running and squirming and falling down and bouncing, got 2 yards. Adrian Galera will be the fullback, dotting the I, and Sulasi Fakava is the fullback, and that's who Galera follows, and goes wide open down towards the 15-10-yard line, and Galera breaks off his longest run of the night.
From the 33 down to looks like about the 12. That's about a 21-yard run for Adrian Galera.
And tackle on the play by number 14. He's not on my roster.
And if he's not on yours, then he's not on mine because I got mines from you.
So from the 12-yard line, 1st and 10. Ball is thrown and caught on the slant pattern.
Well, now they indicate a touchdown.
And it is a touchdown. Who's that? D'Anthony Jones,
yep.
Tight end? It sure is. Now he's got an offensive touchdown. So touchdown Leuzinger. 12-yard pass.
Set up by the 21-yard run by Adrian Galera.
So DeAnthony Jones making his presence known as Adrian Acosta kicks it wide left, misses his first one of the night. And there you see Lauren Bowen. And there's, watch this quick pass by Jackson on the slant pattern. Nice pickup by Jones.
Absolutely.
And into the end zone. 34-3, PAT was no good on the 12 after the 12-yard pass.
So it's back to a 3-score game for Hawthorne. Hawthorne down, of course. And with 8:28 left, clock pretty soon will start to become an enemy.
4 minutes and 41 seconds that drive took. Helped out by a penalty. So Jackson with his third touchdown pass of the night. ...70-yard drive as Acosta getting ready to kick the ball off, and does at the 10-yard line. And back come the Cougars. Inside beyond the 20-yard line.
So that's positive.
And that was Janal Ray making the return, about 13 yards.
Boy, Janal's going to be one tired Cougar when this night's over, that's for sure.
9 plays on the drive. Capped off by Jackson, 12 yards to Jones. So 8:19 left to go.
Now let's see if the Cougars can at least get something to give them a feel-good moment.
Got a new quarterback, Rufus, and he gets rudely welcomed by Fakava. So I believe Andrew Kalinowski took the snap there, and is that Mapu back in? And he has a wrist, no, that's, he just had his elbow pad down around his wrist.
Okay.
Hello.
Because I certainly wasn't sure why. I mean, Mayhew would have come out, but now we've got a stoppage of play and a timeout being called by Hawthorne. There's a
7:33 left to go. So one timeout left for Hawthorne. And the line of scrimmage is the 15.
That new quarterback for the Cougars is number 9, Andrew Kalinowski.
So Kalinowski has been officially announced, and he gets sacked for an 8-yard loss.
Welcome to the game, young man.
That's right.
We've been waiting for you.
Sure. So this is Saliasi Fakava.
There you see again the Mayor's Cup right there. That's the hardwood that they're playing for.
Kalinowski throws it over the head of his intended receiver, and that's Justice Powers.
Now it'd be interesting to know why Mayhew is out
Yeah, see if he's over on the sideline or one of our reporters. Scanning the sideline. Scan the sideline after this play. See if I can see.
Well, I see both
Marte.
of them. Oh, okay. You're looking for Marte. I thought you were looking for a reporter.
Oh, I know where they are. Kalinowski's pass is incomplete over on the far sideline. As long as we're scanning that far sideline. Look for a tall, skinny kid over there.
And the
don't
other
really
thing,
see him.
man, as you look at that Hawthorne bench, boy, there's not a lot of depth over there.
No, there isn't. So that.
And that's the other thing that will hurt you. And you look over on this Leuzinger side and you see the guys, that's a pretty decent punt. Andre Hunt's going to have a chance to return it. And that's going to be bad news for.
Oh, no.
Here's the
There's
flag.
One, yep. That was
Okay,
a block
so
in the
this
back.
one's coming back. Fans are excited, but it's just window dressing.
Fakava ran over somebody, and 3 officials saw it. So a nice return of over 40 or almost 40 yards is going to come back.
So the coach getting on Galera. I'm not sure it was. Well, that's another one if we could take another look at. Here's the punt. That's going to be Hunt that's going to pick it up. Start heading towards you. That one's good. It's going to be
There it
right
is
there. Well, that's number 44. And then
there's another one.
And the other one must
Take
have been
your
number
pick.
4.
Let's go down to Sebastian.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. Not too much going on the Hawthorne sideline. Coach Paysinger was talking to his players about staying in the game and letting them know. He said, you guys are as in it as you think you are. But he said they're just not showing their energy. He's telling the teammates on the sideline to clap it up for their teammates. Kind of a slow mood going over there for those guys. We'll see if they can pick it up. Game is almost over. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Sebastian. 5th penalty for 40 yards in the second half. That's just the second half. Did I forget to tell you 12 penalties for 122 yards in the first half? Running back is Samaj Daniels. His first carry of the night. Looked like Mark Rogers or Lauren Bowen or Lionel Smith. But this kid is a little bigger.
Yep.
Yeah, he's 5'8". Yeah, so he's a little bigger. Got 5'6", 5'7", 5'8".
Right. If you're 5'9", we don't want you.
Well, there's a healthy first down for the Olympians. Any flags? Nope. Samaj says, none on my watch, please. Oh, I guess so. I missed it.
Yeah, it was over on the far side.
So false start by the Olympians. Well, we were worried about Marte Mapu hurting a rotator cuff with 24 passes in the first half, but I'm worried about these officials. They might hurt their rotator cuffs. So it brings it back to the 44, where it'll be 2nd down and 5. Hands the ball off to Daniels. Daniels going around the bend, but is cut off at the pass by Isai Rivera. So good blocking up front, especially on Lasiah Tai. As Jackson comes back in. No gain. So it'll be 3rd and 9. The 3rd and 5, pardon me. Hand off to Daniels. Daniels picking his way, should have a first down. Don't see any flags as he finally falls to earth down at the 44-yard line of Hawthorne, and first down. So 13 yards for Daniels.
Clock continues to move as we wind down. Under 5 minutes left in the ball game.
Out of the shotgun. Daniels again, it's a good blocking up front. Decides to go outside. And runs into some red jerseys. Coming up off the bottom of the pile is number 9, Andrew. Check that, number 8, Kristen Cooley. And Eric Holmes. But not before a 4-yard gain by Samaj Daniels. .420 left to go in the fourth quarter. 3 receivers to the right. Now Bowen jitterbugs his way down inside the 35-yard line. Is a tough little water bug to bring down. Finally brought down by Marte Mapu. Is that Marte Mapu on defense?
Well, if it's number 5, it's Marte, and it is.
Yep, he's playing safety.
Of course, we'll be back with the fans here in a couple of weeks. Just trying to get an eye. Check the schedule, let you know where we'll be next.
So it's 3rd down and 1. And Bowen gets that 1 and more down to the 30-yard line. The official spot's going to be about the 31. Still should be first down for Leuzinger. It is. So 3 yards on the play for Bowen. Jackson hands the ball off to Daniels, and he's wrapped up in a hurry by Cooley.
Daniels on the carry. It's a no gain. 2nd down and 10 for the Olympians.
So it's called no gain officially. Still at the 31. 3 minutes left to go in the ball game. The Mayor's Cup 2015. And is it a timeout? One of the trainers came out on the field.
And it's still out there, but there's no indication that it's a timeout. Now the referee is telling them to get off the field.
Okay, we've seen it all tonight. Hey, can you give me a spot of water there? Says Antonio Hunt. Quick, quick. Quick, while my big buddies are hiding me.
Right.
Yeah, number 76, Jose Martinez. Stand right there. Get a drink.
And I think at this point, Lou, the officials, as much as anybody else, are trying to get this wrapped up.
Oh, they got to be whipped. Daniels has the ball. Daniels trying to get a corner. Gets a nice block from Jones. Gets down almost to the 20-yard line.
Daniels on the carry.
D'Anthony Jones was just begging for somebody to hit.
Right.
No one would oblige him. Down to the 20-yard line, they call it. Now watch Daniels go. And there's D'Anthony Jones just saying, please.
I want to throw a block on somebody.
And look out below, because there goes Lasaya Ty over everybody. And look out.
Big man
trying to get a post-game meal. Ty tried to get a drumstick.
Ball stays in bound and stays on the ground, so the clock keeps running.
Jackson hands the ball off to Daniels. And the Hawthorne defense knows what's coming. And again, Cooley with the tackle. He is quick. The junior 5'9", 205-pound linebacker, Christian Cooley. Love his style.
Yep.
Doesn't care where the ball carrier lands, on him, over
Right.
him, through him. Just want to tackle him. And I can guarantee you, he never leaves a practice field or a game field without a dirty uniform.
Let's see what they mark. They can mark it at the first down.
Daniels again, boy. That's the fourth running back. And they're all good.
They're all good.
Here comes Galera back in.
With 36 seconds left on the clock. Probably got the last play of the game coming up.
Look at here. We got some ballers in the press box. So they're going to kneel down the ball. And this one is in the books in another 15 seconds.
And that's the ball game.
That makes it official.
Leuzinger Olympians, 34.
Some of the Leuzinger basketball players are in here. Like the new
looking
shirts.
for Coach Jones going
Love
to be
those
looking.
new shirts. I like the shirts. So the Mayor's Cup is in the books officially, 34-13, Leuzinger over Hawthorne. And after button heads all night long, it's all hugs and high fives, and we'll get you next time.
There you go. And the interesting streak has been broken where the home team won over the last 5 years. This time, Leuzinger wins at home in a very good ball game. The score will be deceptive. I mean, the final is, 34-13, but it was actually a lot closer than that and a lot more enjoyable than that. So, congratulations to the Leuzinger Olympians for holding serve at home. And I think the Hawthorne Cougars have a lot they can be proud about, though.
Yep.
And a lot that they can feel good. And when they go into practice next week, realize that, boy, we're right there. We're right there. Not quite enough to get over the hump. But, hey, that's the final, though. And, again,
That's right.
The Olympians head to the end of the field to go through their post-game rituals. And Coach Pazinger gathers his guys, and he's going to have a word with them.
And we got to get that trophy presentation, too. So Leuzinger wins their first game of the year, 34-13 over Hawthorne. And they'll start league play. And that'll be against West Torrance in the Pioneer League. Meanwhile, the Hawthorne Cougars are 0-5, and they will start their season in the Ocean League, hosting Samo High. And Samo High is 0-4 as well. And Coach Pazinger had a good reason why, and that's because Samo High's old coach from last year was over at Lawndale.
He's over at Lawndale. And when the coach left, the players left.
They sure did, in droves.
So it's funny how that works.
So Leuzinger, there's the Mayor's Cup winning team. Well, there's a handsome smile there by Ahmad Taylor, his first game back after injury. Also, there's the kicker, Adrian Acosta, 4 out of 5. And
there's Galera right there in the shot.
And number 22, that's D'Angelo Dyer. So they can all be proud because they can say that they're the repeat winners, 2015 Mayor's Cup. Also, number 75, Alberto Perez, and there's Andre Hunt, number 9.
Man, there's a stretch where, and I think those days may be behind us, but where Leuzinger won the Mayor's Cup 7 years in a row, from 2004 through 2010.
Yeah, that's when Hawthorne was on that unenviable losing streak.
At what was it, 44
50,
games?
44, yeah. It was close to 50. So the mayor, Robert Pullen Miles, is down there somewhere, and they're waiting to present the trophy. There he is with the trophy, headed towards the team right now. Robert Pullen Miles and now Coach Damian Porter in the presentation.
Coach, you want to present this? Whose house? Blue House! Whose house? Blue House! All right. Congratulations. All right.
There he is. Presented it. And the cheerleaders.
The trophy stays home.
The cheerleaders are there, and the
Go ahead,
players
present it.
Congratulations. Thank you very much, man.
are listening to the mayor, Robert Pullen Miles, along with Damian Porter. There it is.
Let's go!
Proud moment for the Leuzinger Olympians.
Very much so, as they hoist the Mayor's Cup.
Absolutely. So congratulations to them as the Olympian torch burns brightly tonight with a 34-13 win and their first win of the year.
And you get to keep that cup for a year.
All right, it's Damian Porter. There you go.
On audio, here's audio, baby. We can hear it as the Olympian let out a big cheer.
And let's see, Sebastian Spencer trying to get some of the players.
Well, it can't be that hard. You got 50 players standing right around you.
So as soon as we get
What time, guys? What time, guys?
Are you getting the picture? Yeah, let's take one by themselves first. Look in the middle. Oh, which camera? Just smell it. Okay.
So a proud moment for the Olympians, and especially these guys who have been through it all, down to the bottom and now in a rising program. And we're going to be back to crown the player of the game and the tip of the hat right after this on CityTV. Back here at Lou House, side of the 2015 Mayor's Cup, won by Leuzinger, 34-13 over Hawthorne. Let's go down to Sebastian.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. I'm here with Coach Porter. Coach, you get your first win of the season for the Mayor's Cup in dominating fashion. How does it feel?
Feels good to win. It's been a while. I was proud of the effort of our kids. Got some things we need to clean up, but I was proud of the effort. I thought we played hard. Probably too many penalties, and look forward to next week. We got to get better.
Definitely. You got a big boost from one of your star players, sophomore Andre Hunt. Just talk about him and how much you've seen him grow in these first 4 games.
He's special. He's a difference maker, and he's getting better every week. I was really proud of his effort on both sides. He contributes on special teams as well. So, you know, with him and his playmaking ability and also becoming a vocal leader, it's going to help us moving forward.
And what do you think this team has to do in the next few weeks to be where you want them to be?
Got to eliminate the mistakes and the penalties. You guys ask me that every week, and it seems like I got the same answer. But tonight we were fortunate because we made the same mistakes that we've been making. We were just able to overcome them, and we haven't been able to do that. So that was a little bit discouraging. But then again, anytime you win, you got to be excited. So I'm going to go in here and love the kids up and make sure they understand not to take the win for granted. And we've got to continue to work hard to eliminate the mistakes and the penalties.
Well, Coach, congrats on the win tonight. Congrats on the Mayor's Cup again, and good luck to you in the next upcoming weeks.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Hope to see you again. All right. Thanks, man. You look sharp.
Thanks. Back to you guys.
He does look sharp, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Heavy. Sebastian Spencer. And I tell you what,
It looks like the guy in the commercial. There's some guy, and every time I see it, I think of it. But it's one of those fantasy football commercials.
Well, I don't know. He's our fantasy man, Sebastian Spencer. Well, although all they have to clean up is 18 penalties for 167 yards.
Wow.
And 12 of them in the first half for 122 yards. So at least they cleaned it up a little bit in the second half. Well, now it's time for I guess we better stand up, huh?
Of course, this is going to be easy tonight.
Oh, I see. Okay. All right.
All right.
We're on an unmanned, an automatically controlled camera. So okay. So time now for our player of the game and our tip of the hat. We're going to have two tips of the hat because these both are our teams, Leuzinger and Hawthorne. So the first one is the player of the game, and for me, it's pretty simple. It is number 10, Malik Jackson of the Leuzinger Olympians, who had 3 touchdown passes, and looks like he's just getting better every week and clicking. And as Coach Porter told me earlier tonight before the game started, is that the week off, the bye week, really gave him time to absorb the program that Damian Porter has brought to Leuzinger. So Malik Jackson is our player of the game, and it is important because it is the Mayor's Cup.
Absolutely. And that leads us to the Tip of the Hat Award winner for Leuzinger tonight. And, boy, that was another one that could have gone either way. You got Andre Hunt, who got the game, who got everything started with a 90-yard touchdown pass reception. Then he had a second 35-yard reception. So, Andre, you had a great game, but your teammate came in and, as the game tightened up a little bit, made a couple of big plays that really made the difference down the stretch, and that was none other than DeAnthony Jones. He scored 2 touchdowns as well.
Yeah.
One offensively and one defensively when Maypoo tossed it right in his arms.
And you could see Marte, as soon as he threw it, he wished there was a string on that to try to reel it back in. But 50 yards to the hizzy, to the Lou house.
So for DeAnthony Jones, hey, congratulations. You are a Leuzinger Tip of the Hat Award winner. And, of course, this one's a little more special because, as you can see, fans, this is pink in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is the month of October. And so, again, congratulations to DeAnthony and particularly on winning Tip of the Hat, the special Tip of the Hat Award.
Yeah, and thoughts and prayers to my little cousin, Brooke Lopes, who just beat breast cancer. Officially as of yesterday, the start of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, she has been declared cancer-free.
Well, congratulations to Brooks.
Thank you very much. And our Hawthorne Tip of the Hat.
Hawthorne Tip of the Hat goes to Marte Maypugh. Maypugh had a hand in both touchdowns. As a matter of fact, Maypugh had a hand in 3 touchdowns tonight, except one of them was for the other team. But for the 2 that he had for the Hawthorne Cougars, one was on a touchdown pass in the third quarter to Carlos Jacobo, his favorite receiver. And the other, in fact, in the second quarter, he himself ran it in from 3 yards out. And that one made it a 21-7 game. So they were in it at different stages of the game. And, in fact, before they went to the locker room, they had a chance to make it a 21-14 game. But Marte Maypugh, I thought, played pretty good at quarterback for them and was a difference maker in terms of his experience at that position, keeping them in the game and keeping them competitive.
That's right.
So,
and,
Marte, this tip of the hat is also for you, my friend, Marte Maypugh.
All righty. Well, that third touchdown you're talking about to DeAnthony Jones, that was really the backbreaker of the game. That was probably the play of the game, I would say.
I think you're right. I mean, that's what stretched it out to a 28-7 lead, and that was, I mean, as easy a pick six as any defensive player will ever have. And I'm sure that Maypugh will go back, look at the film, the coaching staff will look at it with him, and they'll make the necessary corrections.
All right, that's going to do it from Leuzinger High School, where the torch will burn brightly tonight And also, we will continue off and take our traveling roadshow to a high school near you. So for Tom Strickfadden and the 4-time Star Award-winning crew, along with Sebastian Spencer, Rufus Washington, I'm Lou Stowers, telling you once again the final score from Lou House. The Leuzinger Olympians, 34-13 over Hawthorne, to repeat as the champions of the Mayor's Cup. Until next time, so long.
Yeah.